And my absolute favorite Doctor is Dr. Oz. He's as trustworthy as the Wizard of Oz. Hi guys, it's Babaloo, and today I want to talk about Doctor Who. Now, how much do I like Doctor Who? It's okay, I guess. But seriously, I absolutely love Doctor Who. Now, I will admit I didn't learn about Doctor Who until after its revival in 2005, so I know a lot about the current Doctors, but because I'm a loyal fan, I have gone back and watched a lot of the classic episodes, though not all of them, because I mean, there's like 20 plus years of episodes. It's gonna take a while, but I have watched a good chunk of them. So because of that, today I'm bringing you guys my top 13 favorite Doctors from Doctor Who. Now, if there are any hardcore Whovians watching, I would like to speak to you guys right now, so you guys don't completely tear me apart on two things. Number one, I have enjoyed every single actor who has played the Doctor. Everyone. Just because somebody's low on this list doesn't mean that I didn't like them, it's just that I didn't like them as much as the others, okay? Can we all agree on that? And number two, yes, 13 Doctors. I know. John Hurt isn't technically a doctor, but he's a part of the regeneration line, and he was a part of a major milestone in the Doctor Who timeline, and that's only two. And I really enjoyed him, so for those reasons he's going to be on my list. And now that all the non-Whovians are good and confused by that, I want to do something quick before I start the list. I'm just going to go through each Doctor starting at number 1 and going to number 12/13. And just do a very quick impression about the character or about the actor that does it. It's just something fun that I want to do. And to make sure you guys don't get lost, I'm going to have a nice little picture here that should show up right about now. And there'll be an arrow pointing to each Doctor as I do that impression, so you guys can follow along. Okay, I'm going to try and do this as fast as I can. Ready, set, go. Yes, my boy. Come along, Jamie. I've reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? I wear celery. I stole Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm the wizard from The Hobbit that everybody hates. These shoes! They fit perfectly! Oh, for God's sake. Fantastic. Allons-y! Geronimo! I get to be Scottish. How do you like that, Tenant? And I realize now that this video has so far been catered to Whovians, and if you don't know what Whovians are, those are die-hard Doctor Who fans, and I apologize for that. But now we are getting to the list. Number 13. Starting off, we have Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor. Now, Colin Baker came on as the show was kind of on its last leg, and the reason I put him at number 13 is because basically of his attitude. I did like him, but his attitude made him lose some points. But seriously, that coat. Wow. Number 12. Next is Paul McGann. Now, I like Paul McGann because he was very quirky and funny as the Doctor. Now, the reason I put him here is because he only had the one movie and one chance to show us what his Doctor was, and that's not really a lot to work with. Well, there was that movie, and then there was that one prequel to the 50th anniversary where he actually regenerates. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the description to it. It's really good, but it's really short. He finally gets a proper send-off, and we basically see what the Time War has done to the universe. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch it if you want. It's really good, but you will be confused. Number 11. Peter Davidson. Now, Peter Davidson had the very difficult job of having to follow Tom Baker, which was not easy to do because Tom Baker was so good as the Doctor. But against overwhelming odds, he did an excellent job, and somehow he managed to look good while wearing a stick of celery. Number 10. John Pertwee. Again, his Doctor did have a difficult run because for the most of his run he was stuck on Earth because the BBC had a budget of $5 and they couldn't afford to keep making new alien planets. So they created a storyline that the Time Lords stranded him on Earth and he couldn't go anywhere else. So he just worked with UNIT, which was good, but you know, we didn't get to see any of the Doctor Who alien stuff that we all love. Number 9. Christopher Eccleston. Whoa. Calm down. If there's any new Whovians watching this, you're gonna completely tear me apart for putting him so low on this list. But that's my personal opinion. You can like him as much as you want. That's good for you. Christopher Eccleston did such a good job as the Doctor that they wanted him to be. I'm not gonna fault him for that. The only thing was, I just wasn't the biggest fan of what they were trying to do with the Doctor. I realized what happened and how he was a changed man. He would have been lower. I'm sorry! But because he was basically the Doctor to revive the show, he gets bumped up a bit. Number 8. Sylvester McCoy, the last Doctor of the classic Who era. Sylvester McCoy's Doctor fits all my requirements for a Doctor I like. He's funny, he's quirky, and quite a good dresser. And Sylvester McCoy himself is also a pretty funny guy. You should see some of his interviews. And fun fact, he's also one of the few Doctors who doesn't get a sonic screwdriver. Number 7. John Hurt. Oh yeah, I feel the hate coming now. Now I said with McGann, he only had the one opportunity to show us what his Doctor was, and that's the same thing with John Hurt, even though technically he's not the Doctor. But John Hurt got a big advantage over McGann, and that's that he got to work with Matt Smith and David Tennant. It's kind of an unfair advantage, but it made me like him even more. He was just such polar opposites to those two. It was just hilarious, it really was. And the Doctor Who 50th anniversary was amazing. You need to see it. Number 6. Peter Capaldi. Now Capaldi is the current Doctor that's going right now, and he also had the tough job of having to replace huge fan favorite Matt Smith, but he's done an excellent job. I kind of view him as a mix between William Hartnell and David Tennant because he is the old grumpy man like Hartnell is, but whenever he gets his happy moments, he just reminds me a lot of Tennant, and even when he does get grumpy, it's actually kind of funny, so I really like it. And to explain the joke that I said earlier, Capaldi gets to use his Scottish accent for this. David Tennant, who is Scottish, didn't get to use a Scottish accent. Yay, explaining jokes makes them funnier. Number 5. William Hartnell, the man who started it all. He was basically the old grumpy man who just wanted to educate, and when things didn't go his way, well, he was not happy about that. And I can't thank him enough for what he did, because without him, Doctor Who wouldn't be what it is today. Number 4. Patrick Troughton. He was the second Doctor, so he had to follow William Hartnell, an event that people had no idea was going to happen and completely shocked everybody, when suddenly their favorite TV character just changed into another person. Unlike Hartnell, who was old and grumpy, Troughton was very happy and uppity and funny, which I really appreciate. It made a very good contrast between the two. Number 3. Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor. I just realized I stopped saying the number of the Doctors as I went. Tom Baker to date is the man who played the Doctor for the longest, and good reason too. He was so good at it. Again, he was really funny, and I always appreciate funny. And he has such iconic lines too, such as, "Would you like a jelly baby?" By the way, jelly babies are awesome. Get some. And that scarf. Oh, that scarf. Baker actually had 2 different scarves. One, the extremely long one that you always see him wearing, and one for stunts, which is whenever he had to run or anything. They had a slightly shorter one so that he wouldn't trip on it and fall on his face. Probably a good idea. Number 2. David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Now Eccleston might have brought the series back to life, but Tennant was the one that brought in new fans everywhere. He was so good at being the Doctor. He actually just is the Doctor himself. He is so good at it. He can be funny, he can be intense, he can be nice, but don't you ever cross him. He does not give second chances. And for the longest time, David Tennant was my favorite Doctor, until he was eventually surpassed by... Number 1. Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. I can't say enough good things about Matt Smith, even him as a person. For the first bit of Matt Smith's run, I still enjoyed Tennant more than him until we got to the first half of season 8. And then he just opened up so much more. It made me like his Doctor more, and it made me like Matt Smith more because we got to see more of his acting skills. He was so much more emotional. We got to know more about him. And also, last year at Calgary Expo, I got a picture with Matt Smith. And Karen Gillan was there too, but I really just wanted a picture with Matt Smith, and then I got him to sign it. It was, I'm pretty sure I was like a teenage girl while I was there because I was just so excited just to shake his hand and meet him. I'm gonna put the picture up now. See, See this right here? See, the really funny thing is, if you look closely at Matt Smith's face, you can actually see fear in his eyes. Probably because when they went to take the picture, I just went right past Karen Gill and right to him without even looking at her. So he was probably a little bit freaked out. So Matt Smith, I apologize. I was just so happy. So that's my list. So if you guys want to put your own list down in the comments, or even just who your favorite doctor is, or if you want to chastise me for my list or anything I said, put it down in the comments and we can discuss. As always, my good people, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I would also like to recommend to use some of these older videos I did. There'll be one here, and there'll be one here, and there'll be annotations, so you just click on them and it'll take you right to it. I really recommend you check those out. And you can also find me on all my social medias. I'm on Twitter @Babaloo. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Babaloo, and I'm on Tumblr, Babaloo. I don't know how Tumblr works yet, shame. But you can find links to all those in the description, as well as the other links I said that would be down there. Please give this video a like and subscribe so you can see more of my stuff and get notified whenever a new video comes out. And once again, thanks for watching.